welcome to the Music Polyglot channel. Now today I have a killer riff for you. As you saw, we're going to look at Incubus's Wish You Were Here. What a great tune, right? Now if you, my friend, if you are a professional player or a very advanced guitarist, what you saw back there is all you need to know. I'm sure you got all that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video so that YouTube shows you more videos when they come up. And then you can go get them, Tiger. For the rest of us, we'll break everything down in detail, but in a close-up. Let's do it. So this song has three riffs that we'll look at. This is riff number 1 that's played on the intro and choruses. Slow. Okay, so let's break down what's happening there. First, have a look at the chords. So the first chord is an A add 9. So it's like an open A power chord, open A, and the index on the 2nd fret of the D string. Plus you can add, well, you have to add the pinky on the 4th fret of the G string. You can also add the 3rd finger. Doesn't make a difference as long as you're playing that B note. Okay, so that's chord number 1. For chord number 2, you have to double stop strings 4 and 5 with the index. So here you're playing an inverted E power chord. Okay, so you have the index double stopping the 4th and 5th strings on the 2nd string, and you haven't moved the pinky or 3rd finger from the 4th fret of the G string. Then you keep that same shape, the exact same shape, and you take it down to strings 6, 5, and 4. Okay, so here you're playing an inverted B power chord. So it's just strings 4, 5, and 6. You'll take the exact same shape up to fret 5. And then open it up to an E power chord open. So the index is again double stopping the 4th and 5th strings. Okay. So far. Okay, so far we have that. Let's now have a look at the rhythm. So this is a semiquaver or 16th note based pattern. What that means is that we have in each beat, imagine that your beat is here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 notes that fit in each beat. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And therefore we have to play and strum down, up, 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 down, up. In strict alternation. Alternation meaning you always go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up without repeating downs or ups. It's always an up after a down and a down after an up. So here we have. Okay, so that first change. 1, a 2 E and. Again. 1, a 2 E and 4 E and. And then you stay on that second chord. Right, so slowly that would mean 1, a 2 E and 4 E and. And this is key because this one bar that I just counted for you and I just played, that is the same rhythm throughout. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. It's always going to be the same strumming pattern. So my advice, work on this one bar of rhythm now because it's going to make your life a lot easier for the rest of it. Now let me show you the variation in the second half of this riff. So the first half was. And the second half starts off exactly the same with the A at 9 and that But here we switch to a straight F sharp power chord, so a 3-note power chord, up to an A power chord, same strings, 5th fret, and then open E power chord again. Okay, so slowly the whole thing one last time. All right, a couple of tips. In order for this to sound authentic, i.e. as it is on the record, be subtle with your strumming, especially at the beginning. What I mean by that is that you don't want to strum all 3 strings at the same time from the beginning. So you don't want this. Right? No dynamics, no nothing, just straight away. It sounds a bit rookie, to be honest. What you want is, you want a little bit of subtlety. So aim at getting only the bass note, for example, on the first beat. Or maybe the bass note and the 5th, so the 5th string and the 4th. Right? But not the 3rd string. You want to save the 3rd string for the subsequent strummings, like this. And then you pick that bass note again when you change chords. And strum softly at the beginning. And then you can gradually get louder as you get into the second half here. So those dynamics are really going to help you make it sound a little bit more musical and also a little bit more pro. So in the intro, before the drums and the bass come in with the heavier guitars, you have this octaves, right? So let me show you what that is like in context. So first half, I'll slow down here, check it out. So those octaves, you need to come up to the 7th fret, and the octaves are from the 5th to the 3rd strings. Remember that when you play in octaves, you want to mute the string in between, in this case the 4th string. You want to mute it by lightly touching it with your index. So I'm not barring with my index, right? I'm playing the 5th string and my index is lightly touching the 4th string as well to mute it. And then I like to play octaves with my pinky because it gives me a little bit more control over the rest of the strings. So I play that 3rd string with my with my pinky, and my pinky is also muting strings 2 and 1, just in case I happen to strike them. I really do want to control my strumming on my right hand, so I'm going to try and avoid those strings, but if I happen to hit them, they'll be muted, so that's fine. And then you slide up. So it really is, with your right hand, only 2 strums, both times down. You strum on the 7th fret, slide up to the 9th, and strum again. And then remember that your pinky especially will be on the right string already to just slide down back to that A add 9 or A sus2, depending on how we want to see this, back to that first chord. So for the second riff, the one that's played in the verses, let me play that for you so you can see what's going on. Slow. Okay, let's break it down. So, we need our index on the 7th fret B string. And we're going to be playing the open E. And we start off by going... So this is one E ender. It's going to be down, up on the first string and the second. Then we reach up to the 9th fret of the G string with our ring finger. Okay, so this is going to be an E, just like the open E. But it's actually played on the 3rd string, and I'll show you why in a second. So far. Then we play the open B as we move our hand up to the 11th fret on the D string. So far this bit of the riff goes like this. Slower. Cool. Then on that same D string, come down to the 9th fret of the same D string with the index. We play that note, which is a B, and then we play the open B. So you're playing B twice on different strings. Then you play the D string again and you hammer on the 11th fret. Right, so. And you see why you want to play the open B, because it stays ringing out whilst you've hammered on the D string. See? And then without muting anything, you want to reach up with the pinky to the 12th fret of the high E string. And as you can hear, you want to keep everything ringing out without muting it. Then with the index, you go and play the B string on the 9th fret. And then with the middle finger, that same B string, but on the 10th fret. So that's... And you want to keep everything ringing out. So that together again... Then the first half of the second riff is exactly the same. This second half is different. So, the second half, when you come down with the index to the 9th fret of the D string and you play the D string and then the open B, then you have the same hammer on, but then you play with the index, you double stop the 3rd and 2nd strings. You come back down to the 3rd, back to the 4th, and then you add the pinky on the 11th fret of the G string. So. And on the last beat, 4, you'll play 4, E, and just very subtly, because we're just kind of creating a little cushion of sound in the background. Very subtly, you'll strum strings 1 and 2 open. Right? So this sounds like this. Before you come back and play the riff again. Now, the actual part has a very heavy dose of delay, which really gives it its quality, right? So if you have a delay pedal, this is the time to get your hands on that and make sure that you find something that approximates the record. Finally, we have that riff in the bridges that goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow. Okay, so as you can see, there's two parts to that. Octaves again, and again between the 5th and the 3rd strings, we start on the 4th fret now. So it's the C sharp octave. We'll go up to the 7th and back to the 5. We repeat that 4th, 7, 5. But then on the 3rd and 4th times, 4th, 7, 5, and up to 10. And same thing last time. Up to the 10th. Right? So the 1st and 2nd times we go back to the 5, and on the 3rd and 4th times we go up to the 10th. Cool. Now let's look at that rhythm. 1, a 2, E and a 4, E and a 1, a 2, E and a 4, E and a 1, a 2, E and a 4, E and a. Okay, so that's the rhythm. You can see where we change as well. Right, 1, a 2, E and a 4, and so we're not changing on the 3rd beat because we're actually not playing the 3rd beat. We're changing slightly after on the upstroke. 1, a 2, E and a 4, E and a 1, a 2, 2 bars in this chord. 1, a 2, E and a 4, E and a. Okay. And on the 3rd time, it's exactly the same in terms of the change. But the last time we go to the last chord earlier. Check it out. 1, and 2, and. Right, so the last time again. Okay, it's a tiny little detail, right? We go to the last note, which is a G octave. We go to that G octave a little bit earlier on the last time. Now, is that crucial? No, it does add that sense of anticipation, but you know, don't go crazy about that. So the most important thing really for this song in general is going to be the rhythm. Make sure that you have this 16th note alternation down. That is, you know, always playing down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Whether you're playing or not, your hands going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Always down on the beats. That's the crucial thing. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. So there we go. What did you think? Easy? Hard? Let me know in the comments below. Now, if you found that really difficult and you want a one-on-one lesson with me on this tune, you can have one for free. All you need to do is to contact me through my website, to which I'll leave a link in the description below. If you want tabs and sheet music, all that is available to all my Patreons on my Patreon page. Check the link in the description below. Thank you for staying till the end, and I'll see you next time. Hasta la próxima, arrivederci, au revoir.